Time now for Great Day Law. Every month we're catching up with lawyer Twillie to get you all those questions that you might have answered. He is the owner at LA Law, and he is here for some legal advice.
Today we're talking about an email you recently got. Elizabeth J. wrote, I got into a horrible accident that wasn't my fault, and it turns out the guy who hit me, he had no insurance. I have what my insurance agent told me was full coverage, and it only included $25,000 of uninsured motorist protection.
So that barely starts to cover my bills, she says. How is that considered full coverage? And I feel for Elizabeth and everyone out there
exactly.
who
it's the worst thing.
Is wondering, like, I don't know, I'm trusting when they tell me on the phone that I have what I'm supposed to have. So how do we know that we have full coverage? And in your mind, what is really full coverage?
Yeah, so we've talked about this before, and I am a huge advocate of getting an on-the-ground agent, not you know, going to 1-800 whatever, or going to acmeinsuranceagency.com and getting a quote online. You talk to an agent that understands your situation, understands what coverages you need for full coverage. But listen, in Connecticut, you're only required to carry $25,000 worth of coverage for property damage, $25,000 for bodily injury, 50 per, you know, it's called 2550, but it's 25 per individual, $50,000 worth of coverage if there are multiple people in the vehicle. And with the price of vehicles nowadays, $25,000 worth of property damage,
I think I read an article, the average cost of a car in America now is about 45 grand.
Yeah. So,
average. That shocked me.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty
so yeah, if you cause an accident or get hit by somebody that's not insured, and you have a $50,000 vehicle, your full coverage is only going to cover about half of the replacement value of your vehikel.
So this is what we need.
Well, that's very upsetting to me.
Right.
Quite upsetting, and it happens so frequently.
So how do we avoid it? What do we need to say? Hopefully, you know, maybe you're going to switch. It doesn't cost you any money to get the agent. The agent just works for you. They get the money from someone else, kind of like a travel agent. We always hear that it's best to have a travel agent because you're not paying for it. The hotels are. But what do we say, whether we're calling that 800 number or the agent, what do we really want?
Say, hey, do I have full coverage? Yes. What does that entail? Do I have enough coverage if you tell that person, hey, I own my home. So if I get into an accident, it's my fault. Is this enough insurance to sort of protect me from personal liability?
Okay.
Hey, you're looking at my car. It's a 2020 Audi. Like, is this enough coverage? If I get hit by somebody, is this going to be enough to replace my vehicle? You go through those. You ask those questions.
Yeah, you have to ask those. Yeah. What happens to the uninsured motorist?
Just go with the cheapest.
What happens to the uninsured motorist?
So good question. This is what happens. Your insurance company is going to pay for your loss. And then what they're going to do is they're going to act like the debt collector, and they're going to go after that uninsured motorist person. They will file a lawsuit against them. They will do whatever they can to collect on that debt.
From
them personally.
Them personally.
Correct.
So whatever they've got could be up for grabs.
Correct.
But if they don't have anything, and that's why they don't have insurance.
Well, that's your insurance company. That's their battle.
That's their battle.
You know, but your battle is to make sure that you're fully compensated and made whole.
So when you call that insurance company to get the policy,
make sure you ask the questions that, is it enough to replace my vehicle if I'm involved in a crash? Is this enough money to protect me personally if I get sued?
So this is probably a whole other segment, but since we're having this right now, like a lot of people I know in my world are talking about teen drivers. Is there anything you have to make sure you have on your insurance if you have a new teen driver, other than we know you're going to pay more?
Double your coverage.
Double, really?
No, I'm just kidding. No. Because that would be
astronomical.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, again, as long as you have adequate coverages in insurance, having a teen driver, you're going to be fine. Because, again, if you're asking the questions, is this enough to protect me personally if we get sued, then you should have enough coverage for that.
Okay. Well,
and don't let your teen drive.
And exactly, ever. Don't let them out of your house. All right, thanks
for having me.
We so appreciate that. All right, if you want to get in touch with lawyer Twillie, visit LALawCT.com or follow along on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
All that information is right there on your screen. Thank you for the free legal advice. We always love it.
Yes, absolutely. That was interesting.